Okay. Happy Friday. Should we clap for Friday? Does anyone have any questions before we start? Okay, I don't know if any of you have seen this, but there is a poll on Microsoft Teams. Has anybody noticed this? So on Microsoft Teams, I see most people have not noticed this. Most. Only 16 people or 17 people have noticed this. It says, which coursework 1 deadline do you prefer? March 7th, the original deadline, or March 14th, 1 week later? So if you want to participate in this poll, you're welcome to participate. Okay, so today's workshop is quite exciting and more challenging. It's the most challenging workshop. Well, true, yeah, probably. I don't know. It's could be the most challenging workshop so far. Probably it's the most challenging one. Yeah, this is the most challenging one so far. It's a data visualization exercise, and it will help you with coursework 2. So in some ways, you're starting coursework 2 today, actually, with this exercise. Last week we worked on coursework 1, and today we're working on coursework 2. Whether or not you have realized that or not. So let's jump right into it. So this is not too surprising. We start every workshop the same way. Hopefully you've noticed that by now. You form groups of approximately 6. You decide what your team name is going to be. And then each member of the group writes down your dream data set. Imagine you could have any data set in the world that you wanted. What would it be? And you write that down. You write your names and your dream data sets down. And then you try to find something, you actually try to find your dream data set. And there are 2 places to look. Those 2 websites have lots of well-documented data sets. Now, finding data sets, I don't know if anybody's tried this. Has anybody ever tried to find a good data set before? Good, very good. It's very ironic. We live in the age of data, but actually finding a good data set is difficult. I still classify that. We have this like AI, that ChatGPT solves everything, right? Solves all of our problems, but there are still some problems, very basic problems that are still unsolved. I could go on for hours, like printing, still unsolved. Automatic checkout at the grocery store is still unsolved, right? Setting up presentations is still unsolved. Finding good data sets is still an unsolved problem. So, if you're struggling to find a good data set to use for this exercise, there's one on the next slide. You can just use that. Because I've spent several hours finding good data sets for this module. And I'm not joking, I have spent like 10 hours just searching for good data sets. It's not easy. So I don't want you to spend all of today just searching for data sets. That's why I'm telling you this. I've given you a good one on the next slide so that you don't have to spend the whole time just searching for data sets. However, you don't have to use the data set on the next slide. You're welcome to look for some other good ones. Maybe your team splits up a little bit in like one person's task is just to search for data sets and another person's task is to work on the given one. I'll let you guys decide. Then use any tool. It could be Google Sheets, Excel, it could be anything, maybe whatever your favorite tool is, to create some images. So you create one simple chart, like a bar chart, line chart, pie chart, or bubble chart, or combinations of your data set. And then you create one advanced one, like a tree map, scatter plot, area chart, or stacked bar chart. And then in the Google Doc, you include the following: the name of the group and the group member names, and the description of the dream data, the URL of the actual data source, the description of the data found, and then a screenshot of your charts with an observation, like what can you learn from the images that you generated. And then you share the Google Doc with me. Sound like fun? I'll take that as a yes. Now, like I said, if you're not sure about what data set to use, here's a very interesting one to use. And I've already searched for many hours to find it. It's downloadable here in a zip file. You unzip the zip file, and there's a file called productsanonymized.csv, and you can use that for this exercise. It's from a paper called Estimating the Environmental Impacts of 57,000 Food Products. So what could be more interesting than that? That is ridiculously interesting. So you can also use that data set for this exercise. And there's a paper for a greater understanding of the data set. It's here, the link to the paper. I also have a copy of it here. Any questions before we start? So this is the most challenging workshop so far in this module. Okay, if you do have questions at any time, just let me know. Just raise your hand or come and find me. Let's form some groups now. And don't be afraid to participate in the poll on Microsoft Teams as well. 5, I think. 5, 15.